Yeah, welcome to our preview, colleagues. This is what we normally do a week before the actual show. Dr. Gule, you and I, we have an arrangement that COMETSA Global Online Channels and the IPM will collaborate on this show called Human Resources Development and Management 101 Conversation. So it's that time of the month that we are getting ready to welcome one of the HR experts from the industry. But perhaps for those who don't know you, colleagues, just one liner of who you are and what organization you represent. And then we'll go into the topic for the next week's show. Maybe let me start with you, Dr. Bule.
Thank you, Sam. This is really a wonderful collaboration that the IPM has with COMETSA. I am so delighted because, the segment that we had before was excellent. So my name is Dr. Jerry Gule. I am the CEO of the Institute of People Management, the IPM, and I'm very excited to be working with COMETSA.
Wonderful, great stuff. I can also claim that I'm part of the IPM from a professional affiliation point of view, but that we can have our two organizations collaborating on the topic of human resources development and management is a great privilege, and thanks for the association, for the partnership.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. George?
Yes, thank you very much. One of the things that I absolutely love to talk about is how people react to situations. And in one-on-one conversation here, we have the very opportunity to hear the impact of the things that are happening around us from the professionals, and IPM leads the way in that. My name is George Zamera. I'm the founder and CEO at Vula Unlock Consulting. We are a coaching outfit here in Johannesburg, business, executive, and life coaching. And I'm a co-host on this program. I absolutely love this because we get to hear the true story from the experts. And I'm really looking forward to our next show.
Wonderful. Great stuff. And you and I, we agree that you need to keep on bringing the line-specific type of issues to the HR professionals. Don't forget that that objective. Sister Boniwe?
Thank you so much, Sam, and thank you, colleagues. My name is Boniwe Danster. I'm the Human Capital Professional. I'm also a member of the Institute of People Management. I co-host the show with my colleague, George, and I'm looking forward to this. So one of my contributions to the HR field is actually showcasing the work that we do in the HR space. And what I enjoy about the show is actually having to share the platform with the experts in the industry and making sure that our practitioners out there, they are learning and growing from this good collaboration between COMETSA Radio and the IPM.
Beautiful. Dr. Gule, we rely very heavily on the IPM in terms of issues out there, but also in terms of the subject matter experts, the HR professional. What have you cooked for us for the next show next week, Wednesday, the 7th?
Yes,
who's coming to visit us and what is the topic?
Yes, I like that metaphor. What have we cooked? Because it's going to be a very delicious meal that we're going to have.
Yeah.
Given where we are today, we have asked Miss Andy Saliba, who is the HR lead at Cisco South Africa, or Cisco Africa, in fact. And she's responsible for the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa, East and West Africa. She's the lead, and she works with the leadership team at Cisco here in South Africa. And let me just start by saying, Andisa is a mountaineer. So let me just start there, because in her spare time, that's what she does. She has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and she's now planning to actually do all the 7 highest peaks in the world. And if were it not for COVID, Andisa would have been at the base camp at Mount Everest in preparation to climb that peak. So you can see that we have an HR professional here who is actually not a traditional HR professional. He has other habits, other things, hobbies rather, that she would like to accentuate. So we will be in for a treat, Sam. We have someone who has worked across several industries who will be talking to us, Andisa Liba.
Wow, wow. And Cisco, I mean, is a reputable multinational that has been present in our region for a very long time. And we're talking Cisco Africa specifically. And what topic you want her to address at our show next week?
Yeah. So given her experience, what we have said is we've agreed that what she's going to be talking about is how Cisco Africa has dealt with the pandemic and what their prognosis of the future as they look at the future and what kind of a future do we have. So she will be talking about their response as an organization, both to their staff initially and to their customers that they service. And of course, she is responsible for a wide part of this continent in terms of what she offers. And so she will be talking about that, Cisco's response to the pandemic, initiatives that they have implemented to make sure that they secure their own people first. They secure their customers, because in order to have a business, you must make sure that your customers also are secure. The other thing that we envisage that she will be talking about is growth of this organization and the role that her as a HR lead is playing in that space.
Beautiful. Cisco, anyway, as an HR professional yourself, what do you think is preoccupying the minds of the HR professionals in these times, and that you will want her to address for us?
I think for me, what is important is for the HR professional at this point in time is how they remain strong and how they remain relevant in supporting the business and the employees. But I think most importantly, it will be for me to hear from her as a person, how has she dealt with the impact of the pandemic herself, and what are those learnings that HR professionals can take from her and try to a certain extent implement some of those. I think that will actually be quite meaningful to our HR practitioners out there to actually hear and learn from the best in the field.
Beautiful, beautiful. George?
Well, yeah, get on.
Yeah, I whenever I look at you, I always see somebody that should ask difficult questions from the line perspective to the HR professionals. But how do you think the line could benefit from a talk by somebody like Andisa?
As with all businesses, they will enter into strategies, 1 year strategies, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years. Now, COVID hit everybody unexpectedly. This is the black swan, as they say. And what is the impact on those strategies? And in fact, going forward, will we be having 5-year plans, 2-year plans? What's the impact on business directly from the result of this? And as I remember, actually, Andisa herself and her team were to scale Mount Everest, and had actually begun a fundraising program, and everything was on track. And COVID hit us. So similarly with businesses, how do you then adjust? Because you still must survive. You still must scale Mount Everest. How do you adjust? What are the things you take on board? It will be very interesting to hear what strategies they have.
Wow, I hope she has the opportunity to watch this snippet. It's gonna be quite interesting, and colleagues, I look forward to the show next week. Dr. Gule, I'm sure you know how to mobilize your HR colleagues to switch on to the show. We ran out of time, unfortunately, but this was it. We just wanted to give them a taste of what to expect next week, Wednesday, 1800 p.m. South African Standard Time. Thank you very much. We shall meet then. Goodbye.